The writer, director, craft services person, Alex Ballar, ladies and gentlemen. And great conscience, by the way. I do want you to pop up over my shoulder and tell me everything that I'm doing wrong with my life. I really want that. Introduce your two guests.
This is Beau Nelson, who plays Sebastion.
I didn't recognize you.
This is Wolfgang Weber, he played Vinny, my brother.
So talk a little bit about the genesis of the flick, because you see, I mean, a zombie is it's pervasive in our culture right now, but the flick is, I mean, very, I just want to say, very deceiving of you to make us think it was a zombie flick, and it's not. It's really a good thing about what people want and how they're going to chase that high, regardless of what it actually is. So talk a little bit about when you were putting the script together and where did the idea actually come from?
I grew up with people that were drug addicts, and my cousin passed away from being a drug addict, and which was really tough for me, and so I'm used to, so I know what that's like, how it overcomes somebody and how they could become like a zombie in a way. And of course we wanted to make something that had some commercial appeal too, so I think as a producer I try to think about that in the process, because I know the zombie thing is has some commercial appeal, especially with having like big stars in this. So, and that's kind of where I started with it. And it came from that.
Do you think that coming from a production background, it made your first feature film a lot easier to do because you knew the pitfalls from other people you'd worked with in the past?
Yeah, I've been doing this a while. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, like I work with Michael Worth a lot on a lot of films, who Tammy knows as well. We're used to. I learned from him. I worked with Stephen Monroe. And I know a lot about making films. And doing them quick. And getting in, getting out, making decisions. Because that's the hardest part, I think, about making a film is like knowing when you have to move on and when you have to accept what you got and when you can push further and try to get it better. We shot this in 10 days, so anybody...
10 days. Think about that for a minute. A full-length feature flick, 10 days. Michael Bay can't even find a girlfriend to screw over in 10 days.
The other thing to add to that is we didn't do a single line of ADR.
What?
We didn't do one single line of ADR.
I thought I heard a couple of places where you were doing.
No. Not one single line ever.
Line.
The whole
I swear, I vouch for it, no ADR.
No.
It's fantastic.
That means that we had a great crew, too. You know what I mean? Because it's easy for a sound person to say, yep, we got it. And you don't got it. So
one air conditioner and you're screwed.
Yeah. LA has a lot of planes.
It's probably not something what directors are supposed to do, but that was something I was conscious of as well. So like during the takes, like I would, if I knew I didn't get a certain word or two, I would make them go back and do that, start from that place or whatever. And then we were limited in takes as well, because so we were shooting 8 to 12 pages a day or whatever it was. So it was a lot of pages.
You were just blasting through that. I mean,
yeah.
and even with the retakes and everything else, 10 days?
Yeah.
10 days, yeah.
Well, I mean, it made it great for wardrobe, if nothing else.
You just wore
I
the
hope you
same
like
thing.
that T-shirt, man.
That was my shirt, actually.
So, have you worked with these gentlemen in the past, or did they answer adding green sheet, or what actually?
No. I did a web series a while ago, and we cast Beau, and that's how I met him. And then him and I got together and decided to make this film. It was supposed to happen on a really big budget at one time. The typical person that says, "Yeah, I got the money, let's do it," and that's kind of how the idea actually came about, because I started talking to him about something he would be interested in. We were talking about the commercial aspects of it and everything, and he had the money for sure, and that never happened, And then I talked to Beau, and I was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And he never produced a movie before, and he was a little nervous about it, thought I was crazy, but he was like, "Hey, okay." And then I met...
We'll talk about that phone conversation. Hang on, we'll get to
It's fun.
You're on the phone with Alex, and he's saying, I've got this really great script. I'm having problems, making it coalesce. What's going through your head? What brought you to the yes part of it?
To be honest, I never wanted to produce anything because I didn't want to take away from my focus of being an actor. And I thought doing this would take me away from doing everything else I'm trying to do. But, after I realized, creating your own opportunities is the biggest thing that you can do, because you can either sit there and wait for Hollywood to let you work, or you could make your own work, and then when Hollywood still wants to let you to work, you can go do that too. You can do your own thing. So, you know, I just, you know, Alex had a really good vision. The script was hilarious. I've never laughed out loud reading a script before. And when I did, I fell in love with it, and I said, you know what, let's just do it. Let's do it. So that's kind of how it happened.
Cool. Was the workout outfit always something that you were looking forward to shooting when you were looking at that, just the nice pastels?
You know, ironically, Kara, my girlfriend in the movie, brought that.
Oh no!
She brought the matching outfits, and I said, "Let's do it."
He made a choice. If you haven't figured it out, like when he's on the zombie drugs, he's like really somebody who thinks he's a transvestite.
I'm a little bit feminine.
That's what he did. Like, this chick.
Politics.
I wanted a particular behavior, and that's what came to mind again. So that's where I went with it. I wanted a behavior to be different when I was on the zombie drugs than when I wasn't. So there's times where I talk a little bit femme.
What we did is we did a lot of work, like acting work, before we shot it too. That's how we got through it in 10 days. So, you know, I stayed at the actor studio for a long time, so I know all these exercises, and we sat down and I drilled them through a bunch of exercises, and then I got them to the point where we did like character interviews all the time, so they could be that character. Even though they stayed with the dialogue, they were the character. That's why I feel like there's a lot of moments in there where you feel they're really living in that moment, you know.
And plus, there was a lot of tongue work too. You could see that in all the characters. I'm sorry. Talk a little bit about when you read the script for the first time and were looking at it, going, because it's easy to think that from the first part of the flick, Sebastian's going to be the crux of it, but it turns to you pretty quickly.
Yeah, God, man, I read it probably a year before Beau read it, and it was just something, because we were juggling around ideas on other films and stuff, and we were looking at stuff that was probably more, I don't know, like financially like easier to put together in such a short amount of time. But no, I read it and I was just like, why not? You know, as an actor out in LA, you're always kind of looking for the next job, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. We did it.
But it's a good thing to sink your teeth into too, because
Yeah,
your character has a really good turn, an arc across it.
Yeah, it's funny when I was doing, like when we were talking about the whole character research thing. There's this one guy I used to work with in LA, and he's so like boring. He's just your typical stoner, and I was just like, dude. And I really hung out with him at this like socks and mustache party one time, and I was like, I just kind of remembered how he was. He was just very like aloof and whatever goes. And you could just kind of follow, you know, you're kind of the leader in it. And so I just did what you did, you know. So it was good. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for the stars? Yeah, up at the top.
Other than the financial hurdle you had to deal with, what else did you encounter while trying to shoot, especially in 10 days?
Lawnmowers.
Yeah, those
Lawnmowers. I mean, we had that lawnmower scene that you saw, the guy pushing the lawnmower. We actually filmed him for the sole purpose because he wouldn't turn it off.
He was trying to get paid.
Basically, what happened is they have people in this community that mows everybody's lawns. You know, like that's their service, and they were intentionally being a dick.
He would turn it on like during our takes. Like,
but
he
he
would like,
wouldn't
stop it, and then we'd say action, and he'd go.
And he would go across the street and a block down the street and not turn it off.
Yeah.
Like he literally just left it on the whole time, going down the middle of the road.
That's typical in LA.
Yeah.
Like or in the movie industry, like because you can get paid.
People
from,
do pay
from
you.
big films if you interrupt them, and you're allowed to. You know, that's what people do. So some people.
And this is why movies are budgeted $150 million. A lot of it is paid.
There's people. That's why I forgot, you know, they have cash that I forget what they call it, but and the line producer, when they hand that out all day long when you go on location.
Talk a little bit about when you, because there's one bit where she's going to the bank, and it was a nice bank.
We stole it.
And a bank, and a bank, and a bank. was that CG, or did you wind up?
No, we stole the shot, just like we
found it.
Yeah,
we stumbled upon a bank.
Yeah.
But it didn't say
it said,
it's such and such bank. It just said
it literally said. It literally said bank.
We got lucky and found that. And we just shot it.
I wouldn't trust a thing that just said bank. It's just like a generic.
No, yeah, that's in
North Hollywood.
Yeah.
But you've got to do guerrilla shooting like that, especially out of 10 days. Did you? I mean, was this a guerrilla shoot where did you pay the city for any of the location shots or anything else?
No, well, all the locations, you know, were friends, places and stuff.
Except for the bank. And the park was like right next to Warner Brothers Studios. We could have probably got in trouble, but.
Yeah, one security guard blows the whole damn thing open. That's
Well,
what-
I mean, in the activities that we were doing, I mean.
Humping in public.
Humping a lawnmower is a little.
No, when they were
Well,
humping in a park too.
You know,
Right.
like when Kara died, I mean, you know, the actions that took place before that, and then I'm pouring white powder on my arm in a public park. Probably ended up in jail.
Occupy zombie drugs. Any other questions? All right, let's, yes, right there.
How many cameras did you use?
Well, just one camera operator,
Wow.
but we used the 5D and the 7D. The 7D was mostly for like the bike shot and stuff like that.
Wow.
That wasn't a GoPro either. Wow. I figured there was a GoPro mounted on a.
No, we rigged that just like we rigged it on the
The lawnmower was
when
done
it
with
was
duct
spinning
tape.
around. Yeah, it was
Duct tape.
That's,
Oh my! I'm still reeling on that because really, the quality. I mean, when you guys were watching these, were you sitting there thinking the budget had to have been a little bit more than one camera over 10 days? Really great stuff. Talk a little bit about the process of actually assembling the flick. I mean, your DP is a genius for starters.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is knowing what you want to shoot before you shoot it, right? So like I had the whole film envision, like I could envision the whole film before I went to make it. So I wasn't guessing. I wasn't like, yeah, let's get that shot and hopefully that one works out. You know what I mean? So him and I sat down. I told him what I wanted. We worked it out. I'm also a professional camera guy myself, so I understand shots. You know, and him and I we went for it. We went boom, 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 boom.
I wasn't
Same
kidding.
like
You actually
that.
did do craft services at some point.
I
You
did.
asked it. Yeah, makes
Did you actually storyboard, or was
No,
it?
I did a shot list though.
Okay.
But it also goes back to a really solid, you know, we hired the right people. And sometimes that's a tough thing to do. And you kind of, the other hurdle, it relates to the money factors, is you pull favors, but you also have to be patient enough to hire the right people.
You gotta wait for him, and you gotta.
You know, there's a lot of people out there that are qualified, but they gotta have the right fit to
And-
do.
And yeah, and there's people out there that get paid a lot of money and they suck too. You know, that's true. And why do you want to even pay them? You know, it's kind of worth it. So we passed up on people like that too. They're like, yeah, here's my credentials. We're like, screw you, it's not right for this.
Yeah.
As somebody who's worked a lot, different gigs, TV commercials, whatever, what's the one thing you'll take away from this shoot? There's something that happened here that didn't happen anywhere else on anything I've ever worked on before. Wow. I'll let you think on that for a second. Any other questions up top? Okay, you've had enough time.
Something that on set that I'll take with me.
Yeah. Alex isn't here.
Yeah, no. Just being on set, I don't know, it was when you whenever I get cast in something and I go to set, I don't sleep. It's so weird because I'm so excited, but on this set specifically, I don't know, being on set for 14 hours, which happened, frequently because we were limited on locations, it was just fun, and you take that experience and you bring it to the next, and as an actor, you see yourself kind of developing. You're like, wow, we shot this 2 years ago, it's crazy. Now I watch myself, now I'm like, I should have done this differently. You pick yourself apart, but you just learn from it. But it was an experience, and I don't know, you just take it on to the next.
And plus the dark circles weren't makeup at that point. if
No,
you're
I
sleeping over
literally,
10
I
days.
didn't, I don't know, I could go to bed, we'd had 6 a.m., 7 a.m. call times, and I'd get up there, I'd just, fall asleep till, at 3 in the morning, and sometimes I wouldn't even go to sleep, and it just added to it, really, It was good.
So you've had a chance to debut this at a festival in which festival was it at in LA?
It was Action on Film.
Action on Film. How was the reaction to it?
Everyone loved it.
And it won an award, did it not?
Yeah, it was nominated for Best Comedy and a couple other things. But the thing that people don't know too is we submitted very last minute, the last day.
The last possible day.
Yeah, and we still got in and got nominated. So, and then we just won Best Art Direction, but
Yeah.
we were nominated for 3 different
Best
things.
cinematography,
Yeah.
best
And
comedy.
You're taking it around to the festival circuit at this point, or what's the plan?
No, I mean we were offered distribution from without even asking for it from a couple of different outlets.
That's insane.
Yeah,
VOD.
video on demand, like pretty good
but
video on
full
demand companies,
from-
like Charter, Time Warner,
Yeah.
Xbox 360, PlayStation, Hulu.
iTunes.
See, you guys know how rare that is. You guys might not. I've covered a lot of different film festivals, and the most painful question you can ask a director is what's the distribution looking like on this movie? And just this, it looks like you just ran over their cat, just this look on their face of pain and anguish. Oh, well, we're going to shop it around for another 9 months, and hopefully somebody get. You got distributed, and you weren't even trying. How
Well,
dare you, sir?
We didn't go with the deal though.
No, but it's still there.
Yeah, we still have the offer on the table, but we went to the American film market and we had like 18 different international and national distribution companies that are interested. So that they want to see the
sales
film.
agents
So.
working that out.
Well, I personally can't wait to see it out there because I'd love to see other people's reaction. I thought it was a hell of a movie. Did you guys think it was a good flick? Yeah. Drunk. Let's go over to
Drinks,
Jimmy and
do
get Guys, thank you very much for attending
Thank
the
you.
premiere of
And
Zombie
thank you,
Drugs.
Tammy
Thank you.
DePaul. Really,
thank you, Tammy.
Tammy DePaul was awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
You wanna get drunk?
Let's go.